All right, cyber traders, good morning and welcome on back here to a brand new week inside our live trading room this Monday, May 16th. Great to see Chuck, Kathleen, Nina. Looks like some music may still be playing. Give me a quick second. All right, I just clicked it again for Chuck and Kathleen. Should be good to go inside the live trading room, but should be good to go for all of us in social media today, Facebook Live and YouTube. Great to see all of us here. Welcome on back. So, folks, I tagged in for Fausto late this morning. I got the hot tag right at 9:58. He's here. He's in the office, actually, housekeeping here over the weekend inside our office. Ended up accidentally locking his personal office. So at that, he was not expecting it, and he went to grab one of the guys to try and unlock his door. Too late, and he didn't want to leave anybody hanging. So he got me for one morning here this week, but Fausto is here. He'll be in the live trading room just momentarily. He's going to drive back home to trade and do the open. But with that in mind, though, folks, let's hop right to it. We have the DTST trade on the screen to begin, up over 47% right now. I mean, hey, for right now, we'll just take a look to see why this stock is up so much. But it's more about the volume, more about following the big money ultimately, right? So the news out on DTST early pre-market, I think it was just earnings related. They ended up reporting better than expected Q1 financial results. So with that big push, but again, it's more about following the big money. So with that, let me bring up level 4. And with saying that, we haven't really had too many clear and consistent iceberg orders that have been popping up. What I mean by that is you don't really see like a giant dark red line, across the ask, up top. You do see one at 285 roughly, so that's been support the whole morning, but we haven't really had a clear, consistent iceberg level throughout, the pre-market acting as resistance. We had it here for a bit, 335. That was, showing up a bit after 815, but that order ended up actually getting pulled. That did not get filled. So with that, it's just actually been choppy, albeit pushing back up here. Seems like it's just, finding a little chart resistance here under 342, 343. I would still assume for there to be a resistance off of 350, just keep in mind 50-cent levels and whole numbers. But for right now, going into the open, easily enough, we'll just put the DTST trade here on our list to begin. All right, so we ended up having a nice recovery, folks, heading into the close on Friday. But with that, hopefully we see continuation heading into this morning. I know a few stocks were moving up early after 8 o'clock. So we'll take a look at, everything as we scan from top to bottom here in just a second. Let's start right from the top. DTST, already on our list. All right, we keep it going. The AGRI stock. Now, this is one that we are really familiar with, at least inside the live trading room. For members like Grant and Glenn and John and Skip and Chuck and Michael and Alex and all of us here. You folks should be pretty familiar with this stock if you were with us back in March, where it ended up exploding from 2 all the way up towards 5 and actually broke above 5 mid-month. But hey, what goes up does come back down. This did pull back down pretty sharply after. So this was not meant as a swing trade call out. It was a day trade. And for right now, it's obviously making a pretty big push right now, and it's up over 25%. Ended up just breaking above 2 here. It took a while, but it held above 2, and now it's trying to make the higher high. So definitely this will be put on our watch list here alongside the alongside the DTST trade. The news for this one, really briefly, I'm not going to be the newsman for every stock here, but just to see the news out on AGRI. Yeesh, no news. I have a little headline back from Thursday of this week, just an update on an acquisition of a company, but no specific news or headline that came out this morning. So, perhaps could that just be just further short covering, or maybe just day traders looking for a quick pop early? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, not every stock moves just because of news. It could just be because of further momentum from the past week. So we ended up seeing a big pop early in pre, but hey, it's beginning to make a little grind of a move back up now. We'll definitely put this on our watch list. But if you begin to see the volume die off on this stock, if you look at the volume bars and if you begin to see over time they really sharply drop, then I'd be pretty careful. When the volume dies off for a stock, you know the rest of the saying there, right? So does the trade itself. So does the stock. So with that, just be careful. Now you have DWAC warrants up. I'm not as interested in the warrants, although they're up more compared to the equity DWAC. So I will check out DWAC here in just a bit. And keep going. Mant, a buyout, I assume. All right. So what's the headline here on Save Spirit Airlines? I know we had this, on our watch list going into the pre-market, but I didn't even check the news on this. So I assumed it had to do with an update in regards to their merger or buyout, whether it was with Frontline, and now we're seeing actually, as the headline reads, Spirit Airlines trading higher after JetBlue appealed directly to Spirit shareholders for consideration of JetBlue's acquisition offer of the company at $30 per share. So, hey, we've been looking at this trade for a little while in regards to their, eventual buyout. Once the news is made official, then it's going to look a lot like MANT here, where it's just flat. But right now, it's still pretty volatile, and volatile in a good way, right? Volatile is not always like a negative connotation for a stock. For something that does trade good volume day to day, so long as the order book fills in here after 9:30, if this fills in, this will be an easily tradable stock. Not to say, easy trade, but this is definitely one to consider, easily going into the market open. Quick shout out to one of our students, Bob. Bob R ended up getting just about like 39 or so cents, maybe more. I don't want to shortchange him. 38 cents Bob got. He was in from the price 1930 earlier in pre-market. He posted that trade at like 8:23 in the morning. So he caught a nice bounce and he got out in due time, taking about 38 cents. So way to go, Bob. Nice catch. All right, let's see what else we got here, folks. OEG. Now it's up big and trading good volume, but just the chart is ugly. That's not what we would want to follow here. So we keep it going, we keep it moving. It's funny. Fausto just got into his office about a couple minutes ago. So for all of us live inside the cyber group, at least, you're going to hear him, I believe, right from the opening bell, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but again, for all of us on social media, he'll be back on tomorrow. All right, let's see what else we got to round up the gainer side of things here. Bohr, a stock that we are really familiar with, more from last year, I think, right? More from like 2021, we ended up trading the stock, end of 20 even. But then, hey, going back into beginning to mid of this year, it ended up making another pop for us back then. So we are familiar with this stock at least. Just again, the chart is just total crap. So not too interested in that, especially quick little update when you get a pop like DTST here, right? So, that's why this is on our watch list already. Whereas, some of these others, for a Monday, we're not going to be as like, you know, uh, just jumpy to every trade. We got to pick and choose. Nice pop here once more on the DTST trade. Let's hop on over to the losers list. CMRX stock here down over 50%. All right, this will be the last stock I get the news for you folks on. So CMRX here, let's just see why it's down over 50%. So it looks like it's earnings related. They ended up missing their estimate. Their sales are down. Their sales, it says sales $15,000 down from 1.44 million year over year. Now, that would indicate not really too big of a drop off, but you want to reread that because it's not that their sales were $15,000 down from the 1.4 million year over year. That's actually what the headline says. It's a bit misleading. The company reported $15,000 in sales this quarter. That's a 96.95% drop off from that 1.44 million in sales this quarter the prior year. So that definitely is a good reason as to why this is down as much as it is. I'm sure there could be, lowered guidance on this trade. For right now, it easily goes on our watch list, but don't think just because it's down, 50+% already that it can't drop off more. The stock is shortable just to begin, whereas most stocks below 5 or whatnot, they are hard to borrow, but this one is easy to borrow. You don't even need to worry about getting the shares. Looks like this hit an all-time low back in 2019 at $1.25 or so, roughly around there. So there definitely could still be more room to go on this stock. That's all I'm saying. But for right now, definitely goes on our list. Kathleen getting out on DTST just now at 32 cents herself. Excellent. All right, folks, I'll tell you what here. I'm not lazy when I say this. This is just from experience. Unless if there is something that is making a big move right now, there's not a lot on the losers list that we're familiar with here otherwise, or really anything else that's trading respectable volume. So, hey, the CMRX looked good. Why not? But otherwise, there's not much else that's really catching my eye here. So if there's anything up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you would want me to check out or look at really quickly, just type it in the chat board. Let me know. Check out Benzinga Pro here briefly. Ron W calling out SoFi. Yeah, forgot about SoFi. SoFi ended up making a nice pop shortly after 8 o'clock, shortly after 8:30. That is. I know one of our students, Norman, had a great call out on it at the time. It was actually when it was beginning to push up here. So we talked about this just last week in terms of good call outs. It's about making the call out at the right time, not after the move already happened. Even if the move doesn't work out exactly, well, it's not your fault that the stock doesn't make the move that we all want it to make. So Norman had called this out, point being, when it was like grinding on up and breaking the high here at the time, I believe. So, hey, it could have pulled back down and not made a move, but it was a great call out because it already broke resistance. It was trending up and it was after 8 o'clock. So that's like optimal conditions for a call out to potentially anticipate continuation. So nice squeeze up, but now it came back down, right? So it is up over 7+%. It's a stock that we are really familiar with, and we don't have too big of a watch list so far. So I don't mind putting SoFi back on, but we gotta make sure that we don't build up too big of a list here at this point. Cold from John S. If you do well on it specifically, John, then I'm sure you'll be more inclined to follow it. It's very active, trading a lot of volume. It's been over the last God knows how long. I've put this on our lists at times when it's been making much better moves. But hey, if there's nothing really that's catching your personal eye, and if you personally are, one that does well on this ETF, specifically, then you should follow it. Now, notice how delicate I am with saying that, though, because I'm not just saying that to John, who is a successful trader in our room, but it's for all of us here. You can't apply level 3 successfully to an ETF. I'm telling you. So, unless if you are someone who consistently makes money trading an ETF like Cold or UVXY or SQQQ, I would stay away, folks. All right. All right, gonna check out Benzinga Pro lastly here, see if there's any other stocks that I had missed or like popping here that we may have missed. HCDI briefly here, it's up over 12%. Now it's actually beginning to eke back up. So about like 5 or so minutes ago, not to say I would have ignored it completely, but I wouldn't have been too interested in it. Just kind of pulling back down a bit, volume waning down, but it's trying to make another move back up. So for right now, I don't mind slipping the HCDI on our list. All right, folks. I think that just about wraps it up for us here. For all of us on social media, one last time, Fausto will be back in action tomorrow. He actually had a little issue this morning here in our office. Got locked out of his personal office right as he was walking on in. It was like housekeeping little issue there. So I think he's actually back in his office now, but needed me to tag in to do the meeting just to make sure that we were on time. But he'll be back tomorrow. And for all of us on social media, hey, if you wanted to join us inside our live trading room, feel more than free to go right down to the link on the blue banner below. But I say that more importantly because, hey, tomorrow we're conducting a live workshop there. We're conducting our Traders Talk workshop for any of our students like Norman, John, Ron, Bob, Kathleen. You folks know for tomorrow, that's our, live weekly Q&A workshop. But, hey, if you wanted to join us this week on social media and to attend that workshop tomorrow, feel more than free to go right down to the link on the blue banner below. And then if you wanted to send over any questions for me to answer in that workshop tomorrow, I already have a couple of questions from members like Zach and Alan, I believe. So, we'll go through a bunch, but send them over to josh@ctutrading.com. Again, that'll be our workshop for tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock Eastern. All right, folks, but for all of us live inside the trading room, Norman, Grant, John, Bob, Nina, Kathleen, and all of us live there, I look forward to talking to you all coming up right at 9:30 Eastern time.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.